My dad and his sister are extremely close. That's putting it mildly. My dad is about to turn 80, and my aunt is several years older than he is. They've lived side by side now for more years than I can personally recall. They've spent Christmas Day together for over 70 years. There is not a single day of their life that they don't talk. They're the only two left now in their immediate family. To me, she's simply Aunt Margaret. I don't know of anyone alive who's ever met Aunt Margaret who didn't love her. She is one of the most wonderful and amazing ladies I have ever met. Several months ago, she really started feeling bad. However, she didn't go and see a doctor. The reason is real simple. The last time Aunt Margaret went to see a doctor was when she had her daughter, who's now in her 60s. She's never taken anything stronger than an aspirin. We all knew she was hurting when she agreed to go to see a doctor. This week, we discovered that she has a large mass in her lung. Yesterday, they did a biopsy. They took out 3 large masses. They wanted to take out a 4th one, but she was bleeding too badly to do so. The doctor came out and said to our family that they wouldn't know the results of the biopsy until Monday. However, in his opinion, it looked really, really bad, and he had no good news to offer them. Growing up, my dad was a pastor. In the first church there in my hometown that he ever pastored, there was a lady named Ruth Cabanis. Ruth Cabanis, in my dad's words, never led multitudes to Christ, never spoke to thousands, but she sits at the feet of Jesus. She loves Jesus more than any person I've ever known, said my dad. My dad wanted her to pray for his sister. He had not spoken to Ruth Cabanis or had contact with her in many years. So my dad called my half-sister from the hospital and said, "Find Ruth Cabanis." My half-sister was not born at the time when my dad was a pastor or at the church where Ruth was born, so she had never met her and had no idea how to get in contact with her. But my dad, like only my dad can do, said, "Whatever it takes, find her." My sister found only one listing in town for a cabinist. She made the call and introduced herself to a man who answered the phone. When she told him that she was the daughter of Jack Millwood, there was a shocked response on the other end of the line. The gentleman said that he was the son of Ruth Cabanis. Ruth was in the same hospital where my dad and his sister were at that moment. She was on the 7th floor and she was dying. It was very doubtful if she would live through the day. She had told her son to find my dad, Jack Millwood. She said, "I don't want to die without him coming to see me. He'll be conducting my funeral and I need to see him." My sister and Ruth's son were both in utter amazement. My dad was told, and he made his way up to the 7th floor, and he sat and spoke with Ruth for a significant period of time. Ruth said she was now ready to go. My dad shared with her the condition of his sister, who she had known a long time as well, and together they prayed for her. I talked to my dad about all of this on the phone yesterday. My comment to him was, "Dad, we all know Ruth Cabanis has been an effective prayer warrior for many years. It may very well be that by tomorrow she's talking face to face with Jesus about Aunt Margaret." In amazement, I stand back and I wonder at the graciousness of our God. Death is a part of life. Unless Christ returns to earth before we do, all of us will die. In my heart, there is sadness for my 2 cousins and my dad who stand to lose a person they love inexorably. Yet, there is no fear in any of our hearts for Aunt Margaret. When she inevitably closes her chapter here on earth, she will begin a new and glorious eternal chapter in her final home. I'm also amazed at how God walks us through the dark days of our lives. In an event beyond the measure or pure circumstantial happenings, God provided for my dad, Ruth Cabanis, and provided for Ruth Cabanis, my dad. God's grace is truly sufficient. The psalmist learned this, and he wrote in Psalm 23, verse 4, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." The New Living Translation translates it this way: "Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me." Let this be a simple reminder to you today that no matter what you're going through, you are never alone. To me, there is no other explanation for what happened with my dad and Ruth Cabanis other than to say that it was simply a God thing. Perhaps today you feel the darkness of an overwhelming valley you're walking through. Please know that if you have given your life to the shepherd, that he will lead you through the valley and that you will never, ever, ever walk alone. Here's a great thought for you today: I am never alone. Here's a great prayer for you today. Say, "Father, today remind me that you are with me every step of my way. Remind me that I never face anything alone. And thank you for being my shepherd." God bless you today, and thank you for sharing this time with me.